Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Living on the Verge podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about Salt Lake City, the Real Housewives. It's almost Christmas Eve. Can you guys believe that? This time next week, we will be celebrating Christmas Eve with our families. I'm recording on Wednesday. This will be posted on Wednesday. And so, oh my gosh, where did 2025 go? Listen. I'm almost ready. I'm really proud of the fact that I am keeping it together. I have my gifts under control. I have the tamale situation under control. Everybody's pitching in, so it's going to be potluck, which is going to make it so much easier. We're going to have fun games. What are you guys doing for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day? I'll tell you what the podcast is going to be doing. We're going to be taking a break. So we will not be back next week. We are taking the week off to spend with our families, and we want you to enjoy your holiday, but we'll be back the week after and we'll get all caught up. Let's jump into the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, titled My Big Fat Greek Mother's Day. And oh my, what a Mother's Day it was. The ladies all awake on Mother's Day in gorgeous, beautiful Greece. They head into breakfast and we get a glimpse of the sign with the friendship commandments. And I was just asking about hergi. Remember? Apparently they were too. And so now there's a chart, but a check is a bad thing. A red mark is not what you want. Bronwyn calls it a reverse sticker chart, and she's hoping that by using it, she'll humiliate and embarrass the ladies into behaving nicely. All right. Seems about right for this group. They head outside and the views, oh my gosh, they're just so breathtaking. I know I seem stuck, but watching this season has definitely made Greece a destination that has to jump up a little on the bucket list because I've got to get there. But it's really cute. Angie's in a silly mood and Lisa tries to join her on the ledge. And what in the compression socks is going on with Lisa? I'll post a picture on my Instagram, but what it is that the gals are in their PJs, and so Lisa has a robe on, and then she has what look to be two knee-length black socks, only the left side has the entire front of her foot cut out of it, so her toes are showing. It's just the strangest thing. I don't want to get stuck on it, but I must admit I had to rewind and make sure that my eyes were seeing what I thought they saw, because for someone who spends so much money on glam and makes such a fuss out of that, it's so weird that then in moments like this she doesn't care that she's seen in this, what could be interpreted as unflattering way. Whatever. The ladies all have a conversation about the fact that it's Mother's Day and they're away from their kids. And Heather says it's the best Mother's Day ever.
I've never had a Mother's Day without him.
I know.
Best Mother's Day ever. I honestly, I know I'm not supposed to say that, but like a Mother's Day that's me on a girls' trip with no responsibilities. This is the Mother's Day that they should have invented.
Most of the girls are feeling a little bit of guilt, but Brittany says she has a complicated and nuanced relationship with her daughters. So Mother's Day is hard for her, and she points out that everybody is light and bright and having fun. And who's the one person that's missing? Meredith. Do you think that Meredith needs to acknowledge Heather's experience in order for them to move forward, or is an apology enough? Angie tells the ladies they are split into groups. We have group one consisting of Angie, Lisa, Bronwyn, and Mary, who are going to go ride donkeys, while Heather, Meredith, Whitney, and Brittany are cooking and going to a Greek cooking class. Mary goes to check on Meredith, who says she is tired of feeling like a piece of dirt on the ground. She says Whitney is not her friend, and she is very tired of the accusations. Mary tells Meredith that she needs to tell the girls how she feels. Otherwise, how else are we going to survive? Translation, how else do we continue to film this show? So they're getting ready for the outings of the day, and they head over into the van, and Heather asks Meredith how she feels about the way they were paired off, and Meredith says, not very positive. Angie chimes in and says, it was in hopes of a good outcome.
Ever since the plane, it's clear that how I speak is not okay. No one wants to hear what I have to say. I've been told not to speak. I've been told that the way I speak isn't good enough. I'm apparently too educated and speak too eloquently.
Heather says Meredith is just being condescending and that it is not her job to get Meredith to be a friend to her. And then right then, Meredith picks up an apparently ringing cell phone to take a call from Brooks. She tells us it's Mother's Day and it is her son. The girls are just flabbergasted, like speechless, and so are the producers. Meredith feels bullied and tells Brooks, I love you, but I'm getting yelled at to hang up the phone on Mother's Day. Sorry, and ends the call. She then proceeds to melt down crying, saying she wants to be with her family and she doesn't want to be there. And the rest of the girls don't get it because, after all, they're in freaking Greece. Is anybody else confused by the confessional of Meredith talking about how it was pretty disappointing that she didn't get to take the call? I don't get it. Heather does seem to want some resolve in the situation, and she seems legitimately hurt. But is she blowing it all out of proportion? Is Meredith, in fact, not capable of swallowing her pride for the sake of the friendship? I don't know. Whose side are you guys on? Meredith nonetheless apologizes, and they move on to Whitney.
Why do you feel like I'm always after you, Meredith?
You are, Whitney.
No, you can't say that I am because I'm not.
You're spreading rumors that I have mental health or substance abuse issues. I'm not interested in your opinions anymore.
Well, it seems like you are.
Meredith, don't be an ice queen. Like, feel with your heart what your friend is saying to you.
Whitney says Meredith is projecting her lies onto her, and then Lisa chimes in and says it's because you called her a pill popper and a cheater. And Whitney says that it's completely unfair because here goes Lisa chiming in again. Just then, thank God, they arrive at the Greek restaurant and Meredith storms away from the group as soon as they get out of the van. Take a look at the Instagram picture I post where we see her storming away in her cute little outfit. So they decide to let her have her little tizzy fit and head into the cooking class with Giovanni, the very gracious cooking teacher. Well, meanwhile, Meredith is wandering in the heels and the miniskirt all over Santorini to make a point to, I don't know who, I guess herself. And on to the donkeys.
So nice to meet you. Are the donkeys nice?
Yes.
Do they bite?
Bite? What is?
Yes, do they bite?
Yes, of course.
Oh, they bite?
Yes.
Okay.
Did he just say yes, they bite?
Yes, they bite? For real? Will they bite me?
Of course, yes.
Bite in Greece. Greek. Bite?
No. They're not
How
going
do
to
you
bite
say
you.
that? How do you say that in Greek?
They don't bite.
No problem. No.
Hey, you guys, what do you call a donkey that has a degree? A smartass. Good one, huh? I'm just being silly. Angie tells us about Dad Louie, who used to ride a mule 17 miles into town, barefoot, to get and exchange provisions at the ripe old age of 10. Hey, people, we're soft. Mary said she just didn't see Greece coming with a donkey. And in all honesty, I'm not sure I would have thought that either. But apparently it's more common than we know. So what do I know? George the chef joins Giovanni the teacher back at the Greek cooking class where they're going to make Greek moussaka. Apparently, Meredith maneuvers the cobblestones and she heads back to the class, but she is obviously in quite a mood. So Giovanni and George show the girls how to layer their moussaka into individual tureens as Meredith pouts. Giovanni's going to try to shake Meredith out of it. Listen.
What's happened? You're okay?
I am okay. Oh, you're so kind.
Honest.
Unfortunately, some of the women haven't been so kind. Sad, I miss my son. On Mother's Day, I won't get to talk to him. Sad.
The wine make us so happy.
Well, she's not happy. No, I'm not happy. It's going to be okay.
In this moment, Meredith reminds me of one of those people that just sucks all of the air out of the room and like just takes the energy away the moment that they show up and make everything about them. I'm really annoyed by this behavior in this particular instance for whatever reason. So what does Brittany say after Meredith goes on and on and on? Well, I didn't get to talk to my daughters for 3 years. And Meredith says what we're all thinking. Of course, Brittany, because it's all about you. The truth is, Brittany's right. Meredith is definitely stuck on the call situation. Well, back in Assland, with the donkeys, the girls are sure they're having a better time than the other group. Bronwyn makes a very valid point when they are talking about what's going on with Meredith and the other girls. If you want to have a deep friendship with someone, you have to let them see parts of you that aren't as good. And that's true. Angie tells Lisa maybe she should step back and let Meredith be accountable. And Lisa tells us in confessionals that that's never going to happen because she's such an amazing and loyal friend. Bronwyn then chimes in. The thing is, Meredith and Heather are going to have to figure it out for themselves if they're going to have a relationship. You cannot figure it out for them. Boom. That's what I'm saying. Mary says she's praying for Meredith because she feels like something's off. And quite frankly, I do too. The rest of the girls join Giovanni at the cooking class, allegedly smelling like donkey. And Giovanni walks in with a grappa from Creta. He's really trying to identify with his fellow Cretan, I guess it's called, Angie, and makes a big fuss out of it. But then the girls talk about how their days went, and then Mary just kind of cuts in and gets to the point. Did you guys get anywhere, she asks. Did you guys talk? Heather gives Meredith the opening to express herself, and she's still insisting that it's about the damn call. But Heather points out, you're upset about all of it. And Lisa finally agrees. She agrees with Heather that Meredith cannot use things as a detour. And Heather finally points out the obvious, that this is a scheduled trip, you guys. They all went voluntarily. They all know what day Mother's Day is. So they knew they were going to be in Greece on Mother's Day. I'm so baffled. Lisa finally talks turkey to Meredith, and Whitney apologized to Meredith, who quickly accepts her apology. But then we hear this.
I should have never called Meredith those things. But that doesn't take away my concern for my friend.
Shady confessional comment much, Miss Whitney? Well, poor Giovanni. He's continuing to try to yamas his way through the afternoon. And Heather is quick to point out that she may have already gotten his phone number because, after all, did you see his Rolex? Not really sure how that looks. 10-2, 10-1-2. The girls are in full-blown conversation about bodily functions while Meredith is seemingly responding in her sleep. I guess it's better than them fighting, that's for sure. Back at the villa, the ladies have a pool party. Take a look at the pictures I post this week on Instagram. The girls have relay races, and Angie decides she's going to sport Meredith's swim cover-up from that super cute swimsuit getup that she wore, the blue and white one. They get into conversations about high school, and apparently Heather snagged the cutest guy in school, and they dry humped. Before long, the conversation switches to Bronwyn and whether she has ever kissed a woman. And she says she has. And then they asked her if that's all she's done. And she says she's done more with a woman than anybody else there. And then immediately cries out for Whitney, who promptly walks in and smacks a big old kiss on her lips. And then we get into the conversation of the episode as far as I'm concerned. Let's play how many members are in Mary's church. No. Let's play how many boys has Brittany kissed? Oh, wait, it's the same game. 367, I believe, was the number that Brittany has on her spreadsheet that she's been keeping track of how many boys she's kissed since college. Now, I don't really want to shame her or slut shame anybody, actually, but that's an odd thing to want to share. Not to be outdone, Meredith tells us the scandalous tale of the broken dish.
I'm not even sure she knows this to this day, so I hope Mom never hears this.
I'm calling PGT.
So when she was out of town, we had the most crazy massive party. When I was in high school, I was the youngest, like everyone was older than me. And then we broke. This is dish. That's how we got in trouble.
Ooh, you broke a dish.
That just had me in stitches. Honest to goodness. It's a classic case of when one thing is not like the other. Well, the girls decide bikinis, business, no, sexy Grecian vibes. That's the order of the evening as they head out to hit the town in Greece. Sans Mary, who is too jet lagged and decides she's going to stay in. The van gives us yet another moment when Brittany tells Lisa that she trademarked high body count hair right in front of Angie. When Angie asked her why, she said because she was the one who took it in the chin. Now, say what you will about this whole situation, but in my opinion, Brittany had her thinking cap on, guys. Angie calls Brittany the side cart on her car trying to get on her gravy train and goes at Brittany in retaliation. She tells her hair is too long and she looks cheap and it makes her look old. So that brings up the controversy about whether you should keep your hair long when you get older. Thoughts? I say do whatever the hell makes you happy. That's what I say. Brittany thinks Angie is strangely jealous of her hair, and Angie finds it hilarious and patently false. Meanwhile, Whitney just thinks that it's sad that they are in such a beautiful place as Greece, acting a fool. And cheers to Santorini, and cheers to this episode of Salt Lake City. I don't know what you guys think, but I think this season is holding up, at least now. I'm really finding it entertaining. I think that the ladies have made a conscious decision to have some conflict resolution so we can move the story along. And they're almost saying as much without trying to break the fourth wall. So I'll be back again to cover Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But before I do, I want to leave you with a quick food review because I went to a restaurant for brunch with my girlfriend the other day and it was delicious. I talked about it briefly a couple of episodes back, and I told you I was going to go back and focus on the food and do a review and get you the real scoop. And so here we go. We are talking about Quiero Brunch on Inez Road in Temecula, California, of course. And it's a cute little place. It's been open a few months. If you're local, it is on the other side of Inez, kind of across from Kitchen Fantasy next to the Starbucks. And it's a really cute place. It's decorated really festively. It's Mexican brunch, if you haven't deduced that from the name of the place. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about our brunch there the other day. So we arrived in time for our reservation, and I was really excited about what I had eaten there last time. So I wanted to jump right into their queso fundido, which is delicious. It has chorizo beans. It has what I'm guessing was Oaxaca cheese. It had some sort of a avocado crema. It had poblano rajas. If you don't know what that is, those are those green chilies that aren't really spicy that they roast and they cut in strips. And it served with blue corn handmade tortillas that are actually purple and delicious. And we ordered a bucket of chips to go with it because there's just so much queso, and 3 tortillas just didn't cut it for us. I was in happy land as soon as I got that. And we, of course, got a couple of cocktails to start off our brunch. My friend got a coconut lime margarita, which looked gorgeous. I posted a picture on Instagram earlier this week, and I had the best Bloody Maria I have ever had. Listen, I've had the best bloody anything I ever had there yesterday. Why? Because one of the biggest issues I have with the Bloody Mary is the viscosity of the tomato. So if it's too thick, then it always gets me sick. And it's the same thing with the michelada. I can only have one, and then I got to move on to something else because it's just too thick, too tomatoey, too acidic, and so on and so forth. This Bloody Maria, and if you don't know the difference between a Maria and a Mary, is a Bloody Mary is made with vodka and a Bloody Maria is made with tequila. Otherwise, they're exactly the same. It was so good. Also a picture on Instagram, but what made it different was it almost had I don't know, you know the sauce from shrimp cocktails where it's kind of a clear, tomatoey, oniony fabulosity? That's what this sauce was. You could tell it was homemade. It was not some jar that they opened, and it wasn't even one of the mainstream brands that we all buy and use regularly. So when I say that it was hands down the best Bloody Maria that I have had, I am not joking. If you do nothing else, go there, go to the bar, sit at the bar, order a Bloody Maria. If you want to be really smart, order a queso fundido to go with your Bloody Maria, and you will not be sorry, I promise you. So my girlfriend had the green pozole. They have both green and red. And I ended up having the mini Moussaka burritos. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the pozole. I tasted my friend's pozole. It was delicious. It is served with, I don't remember. Oh, it came with like a big tostada chip, and then red pickled onions, and it had cabbage, and it was really good. It was tasty. It was made of pork, and it had the regular old green chili sauce, but it was spiced and seasoned nicely. The consistency was good. The meat was tender. I really enjoyed the couple of bites of hers that I had. And then I had the mini Moussaka burritos. And this is where I have to say I was not really impressed. Now, the presentation was pretty. The quantities were fine. It's 3 little flour tortillas, and it was served with the chorizo beans. And it would have been good, but Moussaka is supposed to have eggs in it, first and foremost. If you know anything about Moussaka, it's Moussaka con huevo. And that usually means that you scramble in eggs at the end. But even if it had the eggs, the meat was kind of juicy, so it was soaking the tortillas and it made it soggy. And the meat itself tasted a little bit gamey, as if it needed a little bit more cooking time to break through some of that, the less expensive qualities of meat take a little longer to cook to get rid of that gristly taste. And it seemed like that's what was going on here. But I ate one of them and I went to town on the chorizo beans, and my experience overall was wonderful. Last time I was there, I had the chilaquiles. I would go back to that instead. They have a vast variety of chilaquiles, everything from your typical red and green to some more interesting choices like a relleno chilaquiles or mole chilaquiles. So you can't lose by going to this place. It's only open for breakfast and lunch. They have lunch options like queso birria tacos. They had like carne asada tacos. They had a relatively nice cocktail menu. And then for Christmas time right now, they have a special little menu that had, special Mexican treats and Mexican flavored and influenced cocktails. And nothing on there struck my fancy. They had some nice looking shakes and stuff. So if you're into sweets, then I would definitely go and hit up one of their shakes. They had one that was like churros and something else that just looked delicious. So all of that to say, I would definitely go back here again. I suggest you go back, you go there if you haven't already been. And if you have been, I'm sure you will go back again because the place is constantly packed. In fact, I recommend reservations, even though I kind of hate to tell you that because that's my secret tip. And now everybody won't have to wait. Like I don't have to wait. Kind of feels special when I have a reservation and I get to walk in past all the people who are sitting there waiting, probably not so happy and just as hungry. But that's the tip. Make a reservation. Okay, let's talk about what the price point is. The queso fundido was $17. My friend's coconut lime margarita was $16. The Bloody Maria from Heaven was $17. They charged us an extra $4 for the chips. And the pozole was $17, while the mini Moussaka burritos were $13. All in all, not bad. $91 out the door plus tip. And I would do it all over again, you guys. So if you are out wine tasting and you're spending the night in Temecula and you wake up and you check out of your hotel and you're looking for somewhere for a late breakfast or an early lunch before you head back to your house, then I suggest you try Quiero Brunch. If you are looking for somewhere after church or before you head into wine country, that's what we did. We ended up heading out to taste wine at Truffle Pig, who recently opened their tasting room. And I may tell you about that in a future podcast. We'll be covering some more wine things coming up here real soon. But I'm going to leave you with this for now. I definitely give Quiero Brunch a 4 out of 5. The only reason I didn't give it the 5 was because the mini Moussaka burritos fell a little bit short. If I would have been reviewing this the last time I was there, when I had the queso fundido and the café olla and the chilaquiles, I would have given it a 5 out of 5. So get there. It's definitely worth the trip. You guys, thanks so much for listening today. I know it's been kind of a short podcast, but everybody's busy getting ready for the holidays. I am too. So I want to get you caught up and I want to keep you informed, but I don't want to take all day to do that. I hope you are on track for all of your stuff for the holidays. If you celebrate Hanukkah, then you're smack dab in the middle of it. So happy Hanukkah to you. And I will be back to cover Real Housewives of Beverly Hills real soon. Until then, guess what? Yep, you guessed it. I'll be here living on the verge. Bye.